So for my average price to remain at 45.90 and the maximum lots that we hold not go beyond 10, considering the doubling strategy that I use, that on every stage we add 2 times the total quantity that we are holding so far. So we only have a 3-point averaging in place, because that would give us 1 lot at A plus 2 lots at B, the double, plus 6 lots at C, or C becomes our Z. That's our final averaging point, because this stops at 9 lots, and anything beyond would take us to 18 lots, because that would be double of this and we cannot afford that. So we stick to 9 for this. Now it's very simple. We know our A, it's our first entry, so it's 45.40 short. We need to know our second point of averaging, and our third, we know C is our Z, that's the last point of averaging, which is 4600. Okay, and now we need the average of these 3 transactions to give me a price of 45.90. The average would be just by 9 number of lots, equal to or greater than, that's okay, but we prefer equal to. So I've done the calculation. This brings us to B being 45.71. So here we enter our short at first entry at 45.40, second entry at 45.71, that is 2 lots, twice of this, and third entry at 4600, which is our last end point of entry, which is 6 lots, okay, which is double of 3. This is how we average, and then we have a price of, so then our holdings would be 9 lots at an average price of 45.90, SL 46.10. So SL has remained the same, like from the time we entered the first trade, the stop has remained the same. That doesn't change, and it's not a tight stop, it's a good stop, that gives that space for a false signal or a false breakout, and for you to be able to determine it or not. But waiting it for so long, and you might tend to actually hold on to a further loss if you're only waiting and doing nothing else. And this is during those resistance and support price action moments that I do this. So this is our position. Now there are different scenarios that can come out of it. So the first case scenario is what actually happened. The need for all of this didn't actually happen yesterday. So we sell at 45.40. Okay, our target, that's our first target, which was triggered yesterday, is as determined 44.60. Previous strong support levels where reversal or a bounce has been seen. So this happened. So you make, and under this scenario I make 800 bucks on one mini, 800 rupees, and my loss, cause it's constant throughout the plan, it continues to stay at 1800 rupees. Second scenario is when A and B are only triggered. And what target? So when A and B only are triggered, our average price is 45.61 and 61, yeah, and that's our average price, and we are holding 3 lots. Here what I do is I make my point of entry as my target. So my target number 2 becomes 45.40. Point of first entry becomes my target, because I have gone wrong but my lot size has increased. I still want to get out green, so I'm cool with this. So here the positive scenario is when this is triggered and I make 21 points, 20 points, that's 600 rupees in plus. Throughout the strategy, the loss remains at 1800 max. But it's giving you multiple occasions to exit even if you go like bloody wrong. And the chances are already low because we're dealing with a higher time frame. We're at the resistance, strong one. So the chances are low for going wrong, but we're still refining it to come out in green with the same loss. Next, the third scenario is when A, B, C are triggered. So that gives us our usual average price of 45.90, and I make my T3, the third target in this case, as my previous entry, that is B, that's 45.71. Okay, so let's just keep it simpler. Let's make it 45.70 for calculation. So here I am holding 45.90 and I am holding 9 lots. Okay, so there are two scenarios. Either it goes down and hits my target, or it hits my stop at 46.10. Okay, either ways. So if it hits 45.70, I make 20 points on 9 lots, 1800, I lose 1800, which was anyways gonna happen, that 2k limit. So the stop loss is same. I will lose at the most what I have decided, but even if I go wrong, even if I take time for a confirmation, I think it could touch 4600, but I don't want to take the chance of missing out on a good trade because it's at resistance. So what I do this. So it gives me multiple opportunities to come out in profits. The loss remains the same. Don't think about the risk reward ratio here because your probability of winning has been maximized here already. So you look at risk and reward when the probability is around 50-50. So when you winning, so either you win at a go or you lose at a go, that's 50-50. That is when there's equal chance of a profit or a loss. That is when you go for a low risk reward ratio, 2:1, or basically rewards which are higher than the risk you take, because there the consideration is that either you win or you lose straight away, and that is where you want to go for a better reward, so that 5 out of 10 times when you win more than what you've lost 5 out of 10 times, the other 5 times. But here what's happening is you are getting 3 chances to come out in green with the same stop. So your probability is automatically high. Here, the loss will remain the same. Okay, so this is what I use. I use it quite often, very often in fact. I do it all the time to be honest. So if there's any doubt, you can ask me on this, and try this out near resistances and support. Plan it. So you do this planning. It all becomes mental after a point of time. I don't do any of this. I just know the numbers. So you just do this, get into your trade, and you have your entire plan of action and additional opportunities to come out in green even if you go wrong, without having to compromise on your stop loss, because your stop loss remains intact in place and you've given it that room to move around in case it's a false breakout. You don't want to be caught. You don't want to short, it goes up, your stop triggers, then you go long, it comes back down, again your stop triggers. You don't want that to happen. So if you have a conviction, you go for it, but these are your backup plans to come out in green with the same loss.